These spam accounts are definitely way too common in the spiritual community. And here's why I think that is. Do you guys remember what happened to Neo when he was first unplugged from the Matrix? Like his eyes didn't work, he was all weak, and they flushed him down a toilet to just drown in the sewers. Like if Morpheus and the squad wasn't there to like crane game and pull his ass up and rehabilitate him, he would have been whatever, like radioactive fish food. He would have been radioactive fish food. And when you wake up or when you're like unplugged from the Matrix, you don't always have Morpheus and the Nebuchadnezzar and everybody to come help you out. So that was just an allegorical way of me saying when you get unplugged from the Matrix, you're incredibly vulnerable because you're ignorant. It's like you've never done that before. So, of course, like when you're a baby, you don't know how to walk or you don't know what's hot or you don't know what sharp stuff is. You're ignorant of it. And so accepting the ignorance within the spiritual awakening is so important. Now, one of the tricks that the devil likes to play on people who have just woken up is by bringing in a false teacher or a false prophet or whatever you want to call it, a cock shaman or some kind of like, pussy daydream priestess. One of these people who can pose and uses the language of spirituality, but isn't actually embodied and isn't in integrity. And I want to just define those two words real quick. Embodied means that it's not just up here in the head. For instance, somebody could talk about how strong their arms are and the best exercises to grow the arms, but they may have little arms. That's not embodied. You get what embodied is. Integrity can be a little more challenging to understand. The way I see integrity, it's like this. Whatever's going on in here is also going on out here. So if I'm preaching kindness, I'm also acting kind, right? It's about synergy between the internal and the external world. If I say I'm going to do something, my real world action is I do the thing. Unfortunately, there's no like embodied meter or integrity meter that you can buy. And I shouldn't say unfortunately because fortunately it's installed in you. You just got to figure out how to actually use it. And one thing that will forever be true is that this takes time, okay? You don't just become discerning overnight. Some people are more discerning than others right out the gates. But for everyone, it takes time and you will always get better at discerning. Because here's the truth. None of these shadow teachers or anyone that I made up funny names for, okay, they're not all bad. They're not all evil. Many of them are just attempting to navigate their own lives and they're doing the best they can, or at least I like to assume that people are doing the best they can. I know some of them are not, but I like to believe that most people are doing the best that they can. So I'm just going to wrap all this up and say that just because someone looks a certain way doesn't mean they actually have those qualities, and only time will tell. This is advice from a reflector who I take a lot of time to make decisions as to whether or not I'm going to deepen into a relationship with somebody or not. Okay? And even though you're not a reflector, probably, when choosing a teacher, you never want to be hasty. You never want to be with a teacher that's like, oh, you can't see other teachers and you have to do this thing now. Otherwise, the portal is going to close or blah, blah. There's definitely like time sequences in terms of like windows of opportunity, but an embodied and integral teacher is not going to push something onto you. Because an embodied teacher does not want to have to continue to push stuff onto you. I don't want to have to continue to convince you of something. I want you to just see that I have it and be willing to receive it yourself. That's what an embodied teacher is going to want. Be very, very mindful when you're choosing a teacher, when you're choosing to receive spiritual advice or guidance from people. Don't just pick the person with the biggest mala beads or the nicest hair or the best like organic shorts, okay? None of that stuff actually matters, right? They're fun. They're fine. I'm actually wearing some nice organic shorts right now. But look, you can tell I'm embodied because I have dirt and shit on my shorts. And it's not super pristine, super clean. So anyway, if you got stories to share about your encounters with any shadow teachers or scam artists, please let us know in the comments because it happens to everybody. And it's more important that you're compassionate and understanding and can forgive yourself and move on and become more discerning than that you never make a mistake in your life. Lessons from a third line. K, love you. Bye.